Hey everybody, Shaving Nobody Else's Auto, 7:30 Sunday evening, time for some more Gearhead interactive live chat. Looks like we got a great group on and ready to go tonight. Facebook has connected, YouTube has connected. Holy cow, everything worked. Not sure how that happened. Let's see, Randall with the Nut Farm's here. Pete's here with us. Christine's back. Kevin L's here. Hubcap made it. Kevin Brown. So, yeah, I'm not sure what YouTube is doing now with the... Oh, look at that, right out of the gate. Boom. We don't even get to the Supercharged Super Chat badge, and Kevin already hits us with a Supercharged Super Chat. Boom. Thanks to Kevin L. First Super Chat of the night. Boom. Got the badge right here, ready to go. The Supercharged hood badge off a 1935 Auburn Boattail Speedster, an original. We always busted out 4-hour Super Chats. Thanks to Kevin L. Ron's here with us. Dad's on with us. So anyway, it has been a bananas couple of weeks to say the least. Had a great time last week with Kevin and Mark here. So we've actually got a couple weeks worth of stuff to catch up on as far as what I've got going on and what's been happening. But had a great time, with Kevin and Mark here. It's always awesome when some of you guys can make it through. I know Sunday nights are tough, but when it works out, it's great. Dennis Chapman, Mark's here. Awesome. Glad you got there. John Anderson, well said. So you're just Buick, man. That's just the way it goes. Yep. No. Yep. Nuke BC, not sure which one that is, since obviously we're switching handles around now with what YouTube changed something. But anyway, tons of stuff to talk about, tons of stuff coming up, and a lot of fun things to do tonight. Tonight's badge and brochure are related and going to be intertwined. Okay, Sean. Okay, perfect. Yeah, some of these I'm going to be lost here for a little bit since YouTube is doing something funky on the handles tonight. I don't know if that's permanent or temporary, but we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Yep. There you go, Hippie. Like I said, it's doing something funky, so we'll get through it. Not a problem. But anyway, obviously, before we get too deep into anything, a little bit of housekeeping as always. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. I try to catch most comments. If autocorrect changes your comment to something that I do not understand, I will have to skip it. So please double check that. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, this is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. I cannot see those comments. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only two sets of comments that I can see. Trolls, we do occasionally get trolls on here. We've put some things in place to eliminate a lot of that. Occasionally, one still does sneak in. I ignore them because you guys do a great job of making sure they know they're not welcome. Super chats, as we just saw, are always super awesome. Thanks to Kevin L for the first one. We always keep the Supercharged Super Chat badge here, ready to rock and roll for any super chats. And of course, ads. It is their game, and they're going to run ads. So we just got to kind of work around them best we can. But anyway, I guess we'll back up a couple weeks. Yeah, I know, Pete. It's going to be some kind of hunting and pecking tonight. But if you guys work with me, let me know who you are, since we've got different handles, and we'll make it work. We'll get her figured out. If we get it wrong, we get it wrong. Sure wouldn't be the first time this group did anything wrong. I can guarantee you that. But anyway, I know some of you saw it Friday night. Hey there, Scott. But we'll back up a couple weeks to Vegas. I did get the SEMA video up Friday night. I know it isn't real great because I had zero clue of what I was doing at SEMA. It was crazy, the amount of stuff that was there, the people that were there. I was just literally just trying to take it in, whatever I could grasp and take in. We got there. I don't know what time I got inside, probably 10. So I only had 4 or 5 hours inside. Of course, we wandered around outside for an hour and just caught a glimpse of what was outside. The Tesla tunnel, the Vegas loop, that was kind of weird. We've got some of that in that video, riding in the Vegas loop in the Tesla tunnel. That was kind of an experience, actually. 40 feet underground underneath Vegas, and it's just Teslas everywhere. Just kind of follows a flow. You pull up, and they got these little stations. You pull in at an angle, and you get out and go on to your destination. Over the next 10 years, the way it sounds, the Vegas loop is going to go all over Vegas. The convention center, the Strip, Fremont, it's all going to be underground on the, what's nicknamed the Tesla tunnel because they're all Teslas, but it is technically called the Vegas loop. So we got to experience that. That was kind of cool, on top of all the amazing stuff that we saw at SEMA. Of course, saw some friends there, Alex Taylor, Dennis Taylor. It was great to see them. And like I said, it was just crazy. I've got some pictures. I'll get some pictures up on Facebook. But it was an experience, to say the least. My first time that I had ever had the opportunity to go there, and everybody always says I think it's open for 3 days, and you need at least 2 of them, and that's probably not too far off. Hey, there's Big Rig Brett. But it was fun. Like I said, I got some content there. I've got some pictures to throw up. But man, it's overwhelming, to say the least. So that was pretty cool to get to go there. And then, of course, you're in Vegas. We've all seen Pawn Stars, so we had to go to the pawn shop. But the cool part about it, and we touched on this a little bit last week, was I know most of us have seen Pawn Stars, but if you see when they get vintage toys in, they have a guy they call to come in and discuss their vintage toy purchases, things like that. I'm sure some of you guys have seen that before on Pawn Stars. Well, they actually have Jeff from Ottawa made it. Hey, his handle's still the same. It's just got an ampersand in front of it. But he actually has a shop on Fremont Street. So that was pretty cool. We got to check that out. And yes, I bought some toys, shockingly to no one. Buick Man remembers it. Yep. So we've got some cool red lines I'm going to be able to share with you. They have a ton of stuff in there. I was definitely pleasantly surprised that they actually had a lot of good toys in there. And like I said, it was a cool experience. I did shoot a video in there that Johnny was his name, I think. Yeah, Johnny. And he was actually there Friday night. So got to hang out with him, talk to him a little bit. And he's a good dude. He is just what you see on TV. Great guy, easy to get along with, just exactly what you would expect from, or you would want a dude like that to be, who likes toys, The Lego O'Reilly store. Hadn't seen that one. So that was cool. He gave me Toy Shack stickers. Hubcap Dylan's been, like I said, it's just one of those things you got to do. So, and we stayed on Fremont, so we were 10 blocks from the pawn shop, and literally, like I said, Toy Shack. He actually has 2 stores, and I didn't go to the other one, but there was a lot of great stuff at this store. And like I said, I asked if I could do a video. I was like, yeah, shoot. Yeah, go ahead, shoot one. So I wandered around the store for almost 15 minutes, so we're going to share that with you. But I haven't seen Bill Disc on yet. Okay, the other store is new stuff. Okay. I think I do remember saying it was more modern stuff. Hey, Scott's with us on Facebook. I haven't seen Bill Disk on here yet, so I'm going to go ahead and show these because this might give him a heart attack. But this was their shelf of red lines and red lines and red lines. Yeah, so and he had some really, really good red lines too. There's a few red lines I hadn't even seen. I do remember seeing Hardcore Pawn several years ago. So, needless to say, we've got a few red lines to share with you guys coming up because I couldn't get out of there without buying some red lines. But like I said, we'll probably throw the video up next week. Okay, it's right down in your area. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that show. We'll get that video up next week. And I just wandered around the store, checking out different things, and it's everything. It's obviously not just cars, but they had Disney and they had Star Wars and all kinds of stuff like that. But they did have a ton of Hot. They had a modern Hot Wheels. They had like an entire wall that was probably 20 feet by 8 feet of just Hot Wheels. So that was, like I said, that was pretty cool. We did not go to Counting Cars, Kevin. That was up closer to the Strip, and we were on Fremont, and SEMA basically took. We flew in Thursday afternoon, and we flew home Sunday afternoon, and SEMA took out all of Friday. So, my favorite thing at SEMA, just in what I saw, which was an insane amount of stuff. Dodge had a very impressive display. The Mopar booth was amazing, to say the least. Car wise, there was a cool car literally around every corner. The Chip Foose Lincoln, the Chip Foose Continental Mark II, the convertible. Obviously, I thought that car was pretty cool since I just found that Continental Mark II. But there are cool cars literally at every turn. And so it's kind of hard to say, but the Mopar booth definitely stood out. There is no doubt about it. They had an amazing display at the Mopar booth. So, and that's on the video, and I've got pictures from there as well. So that, like I said, we'll get the Toy Shack video up. I was excited to get to the Toy Shack. I didn't even realize it was on Fremont until my sister told me. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going there. Actually, I went there like 3 times, I think. Actually, I think I was there every night, believe it or not. I think I was there Thursday, Friday. Hey, there's JP. And Saturday, because it is actually open at night. Did I see any other celebrities? Nah, not really. I don't think so. Nobody that really stood out. But the Power Wagons, yes, that's true. Those Power Wagons were pretty amazing. Those crew cab Power Wagons, the aluminum Fords that they polished. Yeah, I mean, there was, like I said, there was amazing stuff everywhere you turned. Everywhere you turned, everywhere you looked, it was just amazing. It was everywhere. Well, and for example, like the red line shelf, I mean, we all know this red line, right? We all know that one. We've all seen it. Great little red line. I've got one right over there on the shelf. We're used to seeing that as a red line. It's one on the shelf, or is it right there? I think it's on the shelf. But when you go to SEMA, you can just go see the real car at SEMA. So it was literally that amazing. And you're right, Way Camp, and that's, I mean, literally That's why we were in the Tesla tunnel. We were taking the Vegas loop to different areas of the convention center. It's that big. The Vegas loop will take you to different areas of the convention center. So yeah, and that's a great way to put it, Way Camp. That for everybody to really understand, it is that big. That's why I walked for 5 or 6 hours and got nowhere near seeing everything. Oh, another thing that definitely stood out that was pretty cool is there was a Bugatti there. I don't know them well enough to know if it was a Veyron or a Chiron or whatever. The two new, one of the new Bugattis that are $2 or $3 million. The Veyron or the Chiron or whatever, I don't remember, but hey, Skippy, glad you made it. Yeah, so it was a lot, to say the least. I mean, it was pretty amazing. I'm excited to get to go there to hopefully get back at some point. But like I said, had a great time. And then we did something on Wednesday that was a little bit not exactly car related, but I highly suggest it if you were in Vegas. We went to the Sphere on Saturday afternoon. And even though this isn't car related, it is still pretty magnificent to see this in person. If you haven't heard of the Sphere, I mean, of course, with F1 this weekend, there's been pictures of the Sphere everywhere. They can light up the outside. Inside is a venue, concerts, movies, things like that. The screen, I can't remember. It's like a few acres. The screen is acres. So we went to the movies on Saturday afternoon. You need to be in the industry. Now, this year on Friday, and they said this is the first year they've done it. On Friday, the public can go. They do sell general public tickets on Friday. From what I understand from the guys that I know that were there, Wednesday and Thursday are still strictly in the industry. Not necessarily a car dealer, but you have to be in the industry in some way, shape, or form. And I did register as a dealer when I submitted when I got my entry. But the way I understand it is, and I don't know if they'll do it again next year because this is the first time they did it. Friday was open to the public. First 2 days you have to be in the industry. But when we went to the Sphere on Saturday, they were playing The Wizard of Oz. And this was pretty impressive. Look at the colors on this thing. Like I said, this screen is a few acres. It goes above your head. It goes all around the sides. It was impressive, to say the least. Now, not only is the screen impressive, the way they do it was extremely impressive. The customers, I think that's what Friday's for, not farm. When the tornado is on the screen, the tornado is inside. They have huge fans blowing around in there. They have leaves blowing in there, just like you were in the middle of the tornado. When they have flying monkeys on the screen, they don't have real flying monkeys, but they do have like life-size, like blow-up flying monkeys that are swinging around in the Sphere. I don't like flying monkeys, so I was not big on that part. Don't like the flying monkeys. But anyway, regardless, it was pretty impressive to see, and I was definitely excited about going, and it was well worth it. So that's kind of what the quick Vegas weekend consisted of, but I was excited to see SEMA. If you guys missed the pictures from the Northern Lights that I put on Facebook, you've got to check those out from a couple weeks ago. I think that was right after we got back from Vegas. That the Northern Lights we went out to the yard that night and the sky was pink. So if you guys didn't see those, I've got some on my phone I can show you for guys that didn't see them. Let me know if you didn't see them. Kevin L saw them. Believe it or not, I've never seen a tornado. I've never seen one, ever. So, I mean, I've lived here my whole life. So, seen 4. Well, that's way ahead of me. I mean, they've been close to me. I know that, but I've never seen one. I'm good with it. I'm not. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'm okay not seeing them, but when we went out to the yard for the Northern Lights, and obviously when you shoot pictures on an iPhone, it they say it accentuates the lights, but this really didn't that much. JP's been here 58 years, seen one. Yeah. 2 at Fort Riley. Yep, I've never seen one. But that night, a couple nights after we got back from Vegas, this was the skyline at the yard about 9:30. And it is not accentuated that much. It was literally just pretty much that bright. So if you guys didn't see the pictures I threw up on Facebook, definitely go check them out. I got some cool stuff that night. But it was pretty wild being out at the yard and just the sky is literally pink. And it's pitch black and the sky to the north is pink. So yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff that night. Yeah, there would be some good background shots. Maybe I should put some together on a reel. I may do that. I may throw some together on a short. Check out Tractor Mike's tractor. That big white that Tractor Mike's got out there. Look at that in the Northern Lights. So that was pretty cool. That was fun. I got a lot more, so you can check a bunch of them out on Facebook. But yeah, I mean, I should probably shot 40 or 50 pictures that night. Oh, check out this old Chevy truck with the tree. There's Tractor Mike. Just logged on and seen his tractor. Oh, this one's great. I'm gonna share. Well, I'll show you guys 1 or 2 more of these. We gotta get moving, but look at the Wisteria Lincoln. Huh. So yeah, that was fun too. Anyhow, and then of course, then last weekend got busy as well. Again, Sean and Christine were here. You guys caught some of you guys hopefully caught the short with Christine. Christine definitely does have one record for sure. There's never been anybody here to pick up a car with hair longer than hers. She had the longest hair of anybody I've ever seen, I think. So that was crazy. But we had a great time with Christine and Sean here. They loaded up the Lincoln, got some other bits and pieces. And it was awesome that they made it up. We had a great time with them on Friday. Of course, Nate and his son Lincoln got the 39 Chrysler last weekend. So it was kind of bananas after I got back from Vegas. And then this week was beautiful, so I've just been swamped trying to get stuff done since it's been so nice out. But anyway, yeah, and I'm not sure, Skippy, because it's the first time we've ever seen it. I don't know what it's doing. I didn't change any settings that I know of. I'm going to look next time I set up next week. I'm going to double check it. But I pretty much set up identical to the way I always do. So I'm not sure if that is, I'm guessing that's a YouTube thing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it was fun, Sean. It was a good time having you guys here for sure. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the name thing tonight. But obviously it's nothing that I can control that I know of, at least. So we'll go with it. If it becomes a problem, we'll have to see if we can get it fixed or try to change some things around. Looking ahead a little bit, hey, there's Eric. Yeah, I do kind of feel like I need a nap. I got out of here at 1 this morning, so. Yeah, we're not sure what's going on, so we'll see what happens next week, I guess. The Gathering of the Nobodies, the third time around. It looks like middle of May is what everybody prefers. If that doesn't work, or if you want to, or you're not for that, or you've got other ideas, Pete put some stuff out on the Nobodies page. If you're not on the Nobodies page, get on the Nobodies page, because obviously we're coming up on the end of November, and I want to get that nailed down so people can start planning. I believe the weekend of May 16th is so far the one that most people prefer. So just wanted to mention that so we can get that nailed down. There we go. There's Pete's email address. Perfect, Pete. Appreciate you throwing that up there. To get with email Pete, get on or jump on the Nobodies page so we can go ahead and get that weekend nailed down as to what weekend's going to work the best for everybody, so we can start getting people registered and get a count, and everybody can start planning for it. Hey, there's Nate. Glad Nate made it tonight. And one other thing that is coming up much sooner than that is Mecum, Kansas City. Some of you guys have expressed interest in going to Mecum, Kansas City. Holler at me. Let me know what if you plan on going, you want to catch up or something. Give me a shout. It's going to be kind of a screwed up weekend for me. There's a lot of stuff going on, but definitely going to be at the auction a lot of the weekend, but not the entire weekend. But I am going to make most of the auction, so we can get into some of that. But if you are planning on doing Mecum, Kansas City, and you're going to plan on hanging out with us, be sure to give me a shout. Let me know so that I can be prepared for what we need to do for that. So I know you want to go, Tractor Mike. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird if you didn't go. Wouldn't know what to do if you didn't go. Besides, we need somebody to make bad decisions, so you've got to go. Tractor Mike is actually our resident tour decision maker at Mecum. So if you come, you'll probably hear some of those stories over from years past, from some of the poor decisions that were made by Tractor Mike on Mecum weekend. So, yeah. So Wake Up just says he's just good at that in general. So there could be some truth to that statement as well. And it does look like we'll probably be working on an article for Old Cars Weekly once again this year at Mecum, Kansas City. So it's going to be a busy weekend. So If you are planning on going and hanging out with us, please let me know ahead of time so that I don't miss anybody, and I don't want somebody to go planning on hanging out and we don't end up catching up. So Way Camp is going too, so okay, that's fine. The more people to watch you make poor decisions, Tractor Mike, or cheer you on as you make poor decisions. Sometimes that happens too there. But regardless, I know it's going to be a good time. It always is. Anyway, moving forward, caps, brochures, emblems, promo. 3 promos left out of the Big Chevy collection. We will catch one of those tonight, and then 2 more after this. And I've got a few other promos I've bought since then, but not a lot. So we got enough promos to go through the end of the year for sure. But don't know what we're doing on promos after that. Unless we start recycling some from 3 or 4 years ago. Oh, man, I'm more tired than I thought. Anyway, the Nobody's page. What is up on the Nobody's page, by the way? Let's look at that real quick. While we're here talking about it. Oh, appreciate that, Matt. When I throw stuff up, if you guys, anytime you guys want to share anything I throw up to the Nobody's page, absolutely do it. I get busy trying to post on my own pages and I forget about it. So that's awesome, guys. Whenever I throw something up, if you want to share it over to there, feel free at any time. I just usually don't even think about it when I throw stuff up on my pages, and then I keep going. Oliver fans. That's a lot of Oliver pens and pencils. Those are pretty cool. That one's even got a little Oliver badge on it. That's pretty cool. So anyway, not much new this week. Yeah, that's true, Mark. Yeah, we can get to auctions here pretty quick if you guys want to do some. I got a bunch of stuff in here. Let's do this badge brochure because this is a really special badge, and then we'll do auctions. How's that sound, guys? No, we need to do it, Pete. We need to get together. We tried last week. It didn't work. I'm open pretty much whenever this week. I will be around whenever Eric and Pete and Bill want to get together. We absolutely do need to try to do that this week. So you guys let me know what works. Send it into the group chat, and we'll make something work this week. So whatever works for you guys, you let me know. New Moline mower. Okay, let me refresh. I did not see a new Moline mower. Ooh, look at that. Tractor Mike got another mower. Oh, that drive belt is completely not OSHA approved, which means it should work perfect at Strauss Farms. So anyway, let's do this badge / brochure section because it's going to take a little bit of time. It's a badge that I've never even had the opportunity to buy. Didn't even know it existed until about 6 months ago. And I found one. And it's a Buick badge, believe it or not. It's a Buick badge, and I didn't know it existed. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. And if you want to wait a couple weeks and pay at one time, that's perfectly fine as well. I usually do the same thing on shipments. If somebody just has one thing 1 week, I usually wait till the next week so I can put a couple things in the box. I don't like stretching it out too long on payment because after a month or so, I've got it all written down, but I've got so many packages going out of here that it gets pretty confusing. But yeah, if you wanted to wait and pay 2 weeks at once, perfectly fine, not a problem, no problem whatsoever. So 73C20, no, I don't have anything that would be like a usable bolt-on bumper for that. No, I don't. So So anyway, yeah, let's do this badge / brochure tonight, and then we'll go ahead and get auctions in. So now we're going to talk about Buick badges tonight because that's the direction we're going. So I actually brought a bunch of Buick badges in. We talked about them last week. We'll touch on that, and then we'll get into some of these other badges. And I'm going to kind of lead up to this one that I literally, believe it or not, there was a Buick badge that I didn't know existed. And it's an enamel Buick badge. I didn't even know it existed. Oh. So, Buick badges. Now, last week, I actually sold 2 Buick badges last week because just to justify buying this other one, basically. So last week we had one of these little Buick badges. And like we talked about last week when we did those, there are actually 3 of these Buick badges. Small, medium, and large. We sold 2 of the small ones last week because I had extras of those. So there are actually small, medium, and large on these enamel Buick badges. This stuff is in the teens and 20s. Then, we got up into lots of hearts. Some of these are kind of dusty. They've been laying back there for a while. The 37, 38 era. Getting into like the 39s with these actual family crest badges. I love these things. I've got them all different shapes and sizes. The 42 front hood badge, which is a great piece. That's right, Skippy. You can't have just one. The 47 front hood badge. Yeah, I like my Buick badges. Well, that's what I grew up on, So, yeah, I like my Buick badges. The 41 grill. This thing actually can almost like stab you. Actually, I think it could stab you. That thing is sharp. So a lot, and obviously with the colors in these, with the red, the blue, the gold, these are amazing badges. I love them. Two of the 50 badges, yep. Because those were a plastic insert in the front in the badge on the 50. So anyway, when I see a Buick badge that I've never seen, it catches my eye. And actually, and even like this is taped up, but this particular badge actually went on the trunk ornaments. So pretty impressive stuff. I love them. I think they're great. And now, how about a Hudson badge? We can sure do that. Good idea, Mark. I forgot all about it. In fact, we need to double you up, get caught up on a few of these. I kind of got to rambling. We kind of forgot about it. But actually, Before I get this brochure, bear with me for a second, guys. I just went digging through that box of emblems. I need to go wash up before I get into this brochure. This brochure is, we've seen some pretty amazing brochures. This brochure, and I've got it out tonight because it directly correlates with the badge we're doing. This brochure is one of the most spectacular out of this collection. And that's saying something. When I'm telling you this is one of the most spectacular sales brochures out of that collection, at least that I found so far, it's that amazing. But I'm going to go wash up, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to go wash my hands before we get into this brochure. And then whoa, hold up. Built by Skippy hits us with a supercharged super chat. Boom. Appreciate it, Built by Skippy. The Auburn Supercharged hood badge comes out for all supercharged super chats. Appreciate it. Boom. All right, I'm gonna go wash up before we get into this brochure. I don't have any white gloves yet. I haven't found any white gloves. But bear with me for a second so I can go wash up before we get into this. Oh, a rare one doesn't even begin to describe it. Now, I was shocked when I saw this badge. Actually, you guys remember my buddy Hubcap Robert? He does the Hubcap Collectors of the U.S. page. I happened to see it on Facebook one night. This guy who deals in some badges and some grease caps and stuff, he posted a link on Robert's Hubcap page that he had just posted some stuff on eBay. Well, I've seen the guy's stuff before, and sometimes he does end up with some cool stuff. So I hit the link and checked it out, and it popped up. I was like, there it is. This one Buick badge that I've never seen in person, and he had one listed. I was like, whoa. Never even seen one, never had an opportunity to buy one. So I bought it. So anyway, let's get this brochure out and get into this. Hey, there's Wake Up. Now, Man from the Farm made it. Spectacular is the word I'm using. And then I want your guys' opinion You're going to have a Hudson badge before we even get into this. On this brochure, I think some of you guys saw this the first night we opened it. We don't have time to go through the whole thing tonight. You guys want to get to some auction stuff here in a bit. But this thing, and like I said, I want to know what you guys think after we look at a little bit of it. In fact, I'm probably going to do a whole video on this, just on this brochure. But tonight I'm going to show it to you. We're going to talk about this badge. Yes, it is in the original envelope. Now remember, guys, this is a sales brochure. It's a sales brochure. That's right, JP. And the envelope is 17 by 15. Hey, there's Andy. The Rusty Okie made it back. So here we go, guys. The Buick Limited. This is embossed with gold lettering. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of this tonight. It's so big, it's going to be very difficult to do here. But I'm leading up to tonight's badge with the brochure. So inside the front cover, you can see the backside because that's all actually embossed in there. And it's got just a blank sheet of like heavy cardboard for the first page. That's true. They may have had their own paper mill. So we turn past the heavy cardboard blank piece and look at the inside. Check that out. That's the first thing you see when you open this. It is time the fine car field had a completely new car. Class is an understatement, Scott. Look at this. This is fine art. Now, Limited was kind of its own car. Limited was the top dog in Buick. I've seen them before at Buick Nationals. All the Buicks that Dad had bought over the years, we never bought an old Limited. You just never saw them. 40, 41, and 42, total production was like 3,000 cars in 3 years. And most of those were, I think, 41s. And there was like 2,000 41s. So that tells you how often you're going to see a Limited. In fact, we'll look here in just a minute. In fact, let's just check real quick. I keep this big red book handy, 50 Years of the American Automobiles. It's got a ton of information in it. So just to give you an idea how often you're going to see a Buick Limited, They built, this book just goes 39 on up. They built about 1,539. 40 limiteds, they built about 1,800. 41 limiteds, they built about 3,000. So they made a few more than I was thinking. Then, of course, 42, they didn't make very many at all. Less than 1,000. So this is limiteds you just don't see. Massive production years were 3,000 cars on the 90 series limited. That is completely true, John. And just look at the art in this thing. The Buick Limited Touring Sedan. I hope you guys can see it. I mean, this brochure is huge. Unfolded, it's almost 3 feet. Greg from Maine's here. And this does go through several different variations of the Limited. Like I said, we could spend all night just on this brochure. The Limited Sixter. This one is amazing here, though. I do want to share this one with you. The Limited Limousine. Look at the color and the artwork on the Limited Limousine section. Like I said, I hope you guys can see this. This thing is about 3 feet wide opened up. Awesome's an understatement, to say the least. And like I said, I need to do a whole video on just this brochure. But what's even more crazy, this is a sales brochure you could get at the dealer. As we get to the back of your basic limiteds, as if there were ever a basic limited in this window. Like I said, these were all big, fancy cars. Even has a super cool cutaway engine shot. Look at that engine. And yes, they were dual carb. Let me see if I can turn this around a little bit so you guys can see maybe just the engine page. So not only this thing absolutely magnificent, over the top luxury cars, dual carbs, tons of options. In fact, some of the options that were available now, this is 1941, okay? Thanks, Kevin. Appointments. Lap robe made from the same material as your car's upholstery. An electric clock on the back of the front seat for the rear seat passengers was available. Deep nap sheepskin dyed carpeting to match the upholstery. Umbrella with umbrella holders. A personal radio for the back seat. Distinctive initials hand cut from stainless steel are available, mounted on the inside of the door. Yes, this is more interesting than Disneyland. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Mark. Yes, you could order your initials hand cut from stainless steel that would be put on the garnish moldings. That's right, Greg. That's for sure. But that's what I'm talking about. Premium cars. Your inside door hardware, your inside door handle, your window cranks could be color matched to your interior. So yeah, so I'm going to show you a little bit of this stuff. Then there's one more thing we're going to look at in this brochure. But yes, dyed sheep's wool carpet, matched lap blankets, your initials on the garnish moldings, umbrellas, personal radio, color keyed door hardware. So that kind of gives you an idea of the luxury that they were trying to portray with these cars. You're right, Skibby. It's artwork. It's all artwork. This is all illustrations, paintings. This is art. I think it's fine art. Now, what's even more amazing about this is a sales brochure from the dealership. And this was going to blow your mind, guys. That I don't know, John. I don't know how long it would have taken to get one. But believe it or not, in the sales brochure, they actually listed Buick Limited custom bodies. No, I'm not getting rid of any of this stuff, wake up. Yes, custom bodies. Look at this stuff. Coach built custom cars, the town car, the Phaeton. The custom Landau, the custom Brougham. Look at that thing. This is in the sales brochure. This isn't something you had a customizer build. This is the custom Landau in the sales brochure. Where's the nitro pills? Yeah. So, and then we're back to the accessories. But like I said, absolutely amazing. So, from what we've seen so far, is spectacular a fair descriptive term of the 1941 Limited brochure. There's a lot of hearts flowing, so I hope I didn't lie to you guys. Was spectacular a fair assumption? A fair descriptive term? Words can't describe it. So anyway, as I'm looking through this, there were actually two of these in there. There was the 40 brochure and the 41. There is a 42. It was not in this group. I have seen the 42 once or twice. This one, the 40 and the 41, I think I had seen twice. Seen twice. Not bought, not had seen for sale, seen two in my life. And that's growing up in the Buick world. Growing up in the Buick world, that I'd seen two of these prior to being able to purchase this one. So as I'm starting to look through this and just in absolute utter amazement, I noticed something. Not quite, Gibby. So as I'm looking through this brochure, and of course, I mean, every page is just mind blowing. And checking out all this super killer detail and artwork, and hey, there's Leo. And I noticed something, and I caught it, and I was like, whoa, that's not right. And it's in several of these pictures. I'm going to show you the one in the limited limousine because against the blue, it stands out the most. But not only did Limited have all of these specific touches, all of these little specific luxury items to really make them stand out, they had a special badge. As we look at this interior shot, we can see that the door garnish molding right here utilized its own badge. And you can tell by looking at the picture, it is, different shape. It is a noticeably different shape than any of the ones we'd already looked at. So I knew this had to be a specific limited piece. Like I said, I've never seen one in person. I've probably seen some cars, the Buick Nationals, over the years, just never really looked at it. But definitely its own unique shape and style to that specific piece. And there it is. I don't know if I can hold on to it. There is the specific door panel emblem for the garnish molding for the limiteds. Oh, that's completely right, John. There's no doubt about that. It is kind of a unicorn badge, actually. At least that's what I thought. I seen it in the pictures. I was like, man, what? Never had a chance to buy one. Never seen one. This guy posts a link to some stuff he just put on eBay on Robert's hubcap page. I mean, I wasn't out looking for one. Can't take much more. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll take her down a couple notches here before you wake up, so you can hang in there with us. But yeah, so I wasn't actively searching for one, but when I literally clicked on that auction link to this guy's eBay, and poof, there it was. Now, this actually did have studs on the back. Someone has cut the studs off over the years. I'm sure somebody popped it out of a car, stuck it on a emblem board like we all do. They cut the studs off. But colors look really good. Nice, good enameling on it. It's kind of an odd size. It's about 2 7/16, just under 2.5 by about 1.25 inches. So just under 2.5 total. Does have a peak on the top and the bottom. Lots of hearts. That's awesome. But obviously, as far as I'm concerned, especially being a huge fan of Buick badges, I was beyond excited to get it. It was listed correctly. The guy knew exactly what he had. I had to pay I know exactly what I had priced to get it. That's why I sold a couple of other badges last week. But how often are you going to have a chance to get one? Especially when I like Buick badges. When are you gonna have a chance to snag one? So anyway, that's what we had tonight. That's why I kind of intertwined the brochure and the badge tonight. I hope it was worthwhile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you agreed with me on the brochure and I didn't lead you astray that it was pretty spectacular. So anyway, all right, good. I'm glad you guys liked it. That's true, John. Yeah, or something like that. But like I said, when I like to collect Buick badges and you see one that you've never had a chance to buy before, especially after seeing it in the brochure, I was excited. Yeah, probably not going to auction it. There's probably not any of you guys dumber than me to pay what I had to pay for it. But let me get this brochure put back in its envelope, and then we'll start getting ready to do some auction stuff. That's cool with you guys. Probably not going to be in a raffle either. That would be a good one to pay too much money for as well. A moon badge is pretty cool. All right, let me get these boxes reshuffled and let's auction some stuff. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate that. All right. As always, guys, we're going to go 90 seconds. We'll pick up a piece. We'll talk about it. Sight in your rifles. Have a Hudson badge. We'll go 90 seconds. I'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the condition. We'll give you some dimensions as we're doing that. If you guys are interested, go ahead and throw a bid in out there and we'll see what happens. Once I get done with the description, I will hit the timer. I just use the one right on my phone. I keep it right here next to the comments so I can keep an eye on bids as we're going. I will hit the timer right here on my phone. I will tell you when 30 seconds has passed. I will tell you when 90 seconds has passed. When this hits 130, the high bid that I see on my screen, whether it is on YouTube or Facebook, will be the winner. And like we mentioned earlier, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, all fine. And like I said, if you want to build up a week or two and pay for it all at once, that's fine as well. Like I said, I just don't like dragging them out too long because then things get confusing and it gets messy. It gets messy and stuff like that. So anyway, I got stuff everywhere. We'll start off with, let's go ahead and just start digging into this pile. We'll see what you guys think, what you guys are interested in tonight. And then, of course, after we get done, we've still got a cap to do, promo model, oil can, story time. We've still got a lot of stuff going if we get that far tonight. But we'll see what you guys think on auctions and how long the auctions take and how much stuff you want to sell tonight. Got, as always, a little bit of everything. I did dig through a few more of my new plates. We've got a couple new plates, as well as some other states, some ornaments, a horn ring, some caps. Where should we start? All right, we'll just start off with kind of a basic plate. Obviously, everybody kind of needs to get a feel for what they're seeing on their screen versus what I'm seeing on my screen. So we'll start off with something that is kind of more run-of-the-mill, a little cheaper type stuff. And that way, any stinking badges, no enamel badges tonight. I do have some pretty cool emblems, though. In fact, you'll get those ready here as well. Grab those while I'm thinking about it. All right. I got some cool emblems. I wanted to get them out while I was thinking about it. So we'll start off with a plate, get everybody kind of a feel for what's going on, and we'll just kind of roll through them. Last week, it seemed like it worked pretty well, going back to the old style of just taking a section and doing the auctions. So we'll do that. We may throw up a flash auction here and there where we just throw something up and hit the timer all at the same time and go for 60 seconds. Sometimes that's kind of fun as well. We'll kind of play it by ear, see how things go, and see what happens tonight on the auctions and see what's going to be headed to your guys' collection this week. All right. Whoops, I'm making a mess. We'll start off with a plate from the Beef State. It says Beef State. Going up north to Nebraska, 1960, 65 years old, black, yellow lettering from the Beef State. This is a steel plate, all stamped and embossed with the Beef State on it. 1960 tag, 1961 sticker added to it. It is in relatively good shape. It's pretty flat, just has a little bit of discoloration in the black on it. It's kind of a yellowy orange. All still looks pretty good. So, yeah, it's true. I am the one that has to clean it up. So, any Nebraska plate collectors out there tonight for Nebraska to start us off with? I'll give you a Hudson badge to get things boogieing. I'm going to get a few other things lined up here and ready to go. And you guys tell me what we're going to do on this one. Or do we got to put some more stuff with it? Maybe we need to get some more. Hey, there's Steve Reed. I don't think I got any more Nebraska plates. Maybe I'll get some more Nebraska plates next week and put this with some other ones. Oh, Christine's on it. She's at 20. So, okay. Sometimes it takes a second for them to go through as well. Franklin County. I don't know where Franklin County's at. We've got Christine at 20. I'm going to get this written up. And shoot, we're almost to 30 seconds almost. So Christine at 20, and there's 30 seconds gone. I'm going to keep shuffling stuff around here, seeing what we want to do next. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. And about ready to wrap this one up. This might be Christine's. Big job, 35, 22, 21. I had Big Job at 35 on Facebook. All kind of came in right at the end, and Big Job at 35. He's getting sneaky on you guys. He come on Facebook that time. Those last 5 seconds got interesting, to say the least. Yeah, Big Job was hiding in the bushes tonight. Pew! All right. What else? What do we want to do next? I'll tell you what, I got another plate laying here that is, we sold a couple months ago, never got paid. We'll just do this plate real quick. This is a super killer look, but it didn't get paid for from a couple months, so we're going to resell it, and we'll go with that. Then we'll do some emblems, some caps, some new plates, grease caps. So this is laying here on top of the pile, so I'm just going to do it real quick. 103 years old, 1922. Horn buttons, yes, yeah, Kevin, we do have. I got one on the desk here right now. Actually, it's kind of a small ring and button all together, so it's pretty cool. So that will be coming up here in just a couple pieces, Kevin. You guys might remember this one because it had such a great look to it. Kansas 1922. Now, this is kind of light surface rust, but all the yellow is there except where it's chipped around the edges. Looks like it was probably black originally. It's really relatively straight. It's bent up a little bit. Just kind of a cool look on this, 103-year-old plate. Oh, and these are kind of an odd size, so Nut Farm has to watch for a while. That's no fun. This is about 15 by 5 3/8, black and gold originally, on this 1922 Kansas. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling, and here we go. The 1922 Kansas. Maybe everybody's going to wait to the end on this one. Dean, 22. Tractor Mike, 10. And 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Dean at 22 on the 22. Year you were born. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Dean at 22. Waycamp, 25. Few seconds left. We're coming down to the end. Waycamp at 25. Ron Levesque, 35. And that does it. Ron at 35. Mark Tellene at a 27, but Ron Levesque 35 covered it up. That is just a cool piece. So I promised you some emblems. How about we do a couple of Mopar emblems? These are late 50s era Mopar. Chrome-plated pop metal. The studs are broken, but it is essentially a flat badge. But look at for display piece, look how nice this thing is. It's too slick to get the tape measure to catch it. Almost 12 and a half long. Almost 12 and a half long on the Chrysler. Going with the Chrysler, another late 50s era Mopar, a Dodge badge. Once again, chrome-plated pop metal. Look at this thing. Yeah, right there, not far. I'm not trying to. Good-looking pieces. This does have one stud left. The rest of the studs are broken off. So there again, it is a display piece. Late 50s era. It is shorter. It is 5 inches, and the D is 3 inches. So 5 inches long. The D is 3 inches tall, to give you guys an idea on size. You're going to get both of them. We're just going to sell the pair for our emblem guys. There you go. The Chrysler and the Dodge badge, and away we go. Kevin L, 15. Dean, 17. Wake Up, 20. Just past the 30-second mark. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Wake Up at 20. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. We're taking away. We're coming down to the end. Is that it? Kevin, 23. Pete, 27. And that does it. Pete at 27. And there were more shots coming. Skippy had the 25 come in right at the 130 mark, but Pete had it covered. Kevin that came back at 25. Pete at 27. And those are good-looking emblems. We haven't done one of these in a few weeks, but we always have a ton of fun with them, so I think you guys will like this as well. Yeah, there's some snipers out there. Tire ashtrays. We all love tire ashtrays. I've got several of them. This one was stolen from the Industrial Belting and Supply Company, Goodyear Flight Eagle. And yes, it does say it was stolen from the Industrial Belting and Supply Company, which just adds a little bit more to it. You like that one, Man from the Farm? I thought it was pretty cool. Goodyear Flight Eagle. It's got kind of an odd tread to it. It must be a tire. Was it an airplane maybe? Probably airplane tire. I don't know. Wake Up at 25. Man from the Farm at 35. Size-wise, it is 6 inches in diameter. Wake Up at 35. Or no, excuse me, Man from the Farm at 35. Misread that. Christine, 50. Just past the 30-second mark. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Christine at 50. She's swinging for the fences on this one. What's going to happen? Big job, 51. We're not done yet, but we're getting close. Christine, 56, and that does it. Built by Skippy, 53. Christine got it in at 130. Built by Skippy was at 131. Holy cow. And they're still coming. Christine at 56 is who I had at 130. That one got interesting, but that was a pretty cool piece, especially when it says it was stolen. Let's catch a cap for our bow tie fans. This is mid-60s era, kind of a different one. I don't know if we've done any of these before or not, but definitely a great man cave piece. How about this one? Like I said, this is mid-60s era. This is, believe it or not, all this is stamped. This was painted in these inserts. Obviously, we've got kind of an argent silver in the center with the bow tie. But as we look at the back of this cap, this is all stamped in this thing. So a pretty elaborate cap, you know, for a dog dish cap, this thing is pretty elaborate. It's a big ashtray. Kevin at 20. This cap is about 10 5/8 in diameter. Like I said, you could repaint some of this stuff or just hang it up. It's got a great shine to it. We can see it's got a few dingies, few dents. Nothing big, no serious damage, but good looking cap for our Chevy fans. We're live on the timer. Kevin L starting us off at 20 on the Chevy cap. Mark, 22. Also works, it's got some depth to it. Also works as a hat. Doesn't stay on very well, but it does work as a hat. I probably just devalued it now. But what the heck, we're having some fun. 30 seconds gone. Mark at 22. And there's the 1 minute mark. About ready to wrap it up. Is there snipers out there? Is that it? Mark at 22. Pete 29. And that does it. Kevin L had a 27 at the 130 mark, but Pete had it covered up with a 29. Let's go up north again. Although this one's a little bit this whole plate's kind of different. I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with cheese. I don't know. Maybe when you eat that much cheese, maybe your license plates are kind of weird. I'm not sure. Going back to America's Dairyland in 1953. Wisconsin. This thing is really in great shape. As a matter of fact, I think this is new. It's got a little bit of paint loss. You know, it's got some chipping right here. But when I look, excuse me, up here, I see no screw damage. Down here, I see no signs of this ever being bolted on. This feels like it's aluminum, stamped aluminum. All these ridges are stamped in this. It's weird. It's ridged here, ridged here, ridged here. And that's all evident on the back side of this plate. Rounded corners. Just a lot of different things about this. It's slotted right here around the 1953. Those slots actually do go through, so you could put like a piece of new metal tag to fold over those for 54. So can't guarantee it's Newell stock, but it looks pretty darn good, other than a little bit of paint loss down here. So anyhow, size. 13 5/8 by 6 1/4. So 13 5/8 by 6 1/4, kind of a big plate, and kind of something different. So here we go, mark at 10. We're on the timer, and let's see what we can do with this one. It's kind of unique. Prison Rebellion that day. There you go. Just past the 30-second mark. Christine, 15. Just about to the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Getting down to the end. Christine at 15. Is that going to hold? Mark at 17, and then that was it. Big job at a 25. It was too late. Mark at 17, and it was holy cow. Big job, Tim, Jesse, everybody. But mark at 17 is what I had at 130. That one got a little tricky. But that's what makes it fun, right? Time for a grease cap. We all love grease caps. I think we did one of these quite a while back. It's probably been a year or so ago. This one's banged up a bit, but man, there's a cool looking pieces. For the Durant. Now, this one is banged up a bit. Obviously, we see a little road rash over here, kind of whammied down here. The Durant, nice and clear, easy to read. The rings around the Durant, all nice and clear, cleanly stamped. This has the hex part on the back side of it, so you can get a hold of it over here. We can see the Durant clearly stamped in the back of this, as well as the rings. So this actually stamped into the cap. It is about 4 1/4 in diameter on the Durant grease cap. It is, Pete. It's a good looking piece. And this is one of those that even though it has some damage, it almost adds to it. The way you see the gold coming through on the lettering and stuff like that. You know it's real deal. You know it's original. You know it's got age. You know it tells a story. It's pretty cool. And it's going to be headed to one of your guys' collections here in 90 seconds. Kevin L, 15. "30 seconds gone, 60 seconds left to go, and it's all quiet." One minute's gone. 1 minute has now passed. 30 seconds left. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. We're getting down to the end. Kevin L at 15. Waycamp 20. Ron Levesque 23. Here they come. We got a few seconds left to go. Tim B 25. Kevin L 25. And that does it. Tim B at 25. I had him first. Tim B at 25. Let's do a couple of these new plates. Let's do a couple new plates. I got this horn ring. Oh, hood ornament. What else we want to do tonight? Let's catch a couple new plates. This one's another motorcycle. We've done a few of these. I'm hoping this winter I can sort through some of this stuff. But like I said, this was almost a pickup load of tags. So I'm grabbing a couple here and there and hopefully get to spend some time with them later. Let's see what's in here. Brand new. Here it is. Hasn't seen daylight since 1968. Here you go, Mark. Getting a little thirsty. Hasn't seen daylight since 1968. Let's check it out. 2-digit, 93, KW, Kiowa County motorcycle. Black and gold. I mean, that's just about as good as it gets. Original, yes, it is correct envelope. It has 93 on the envelope, 93 on the tag. Yep, the envelope comes with it. We got a couple new car tags to do yet too. So, 1968, and away we go. Tractor Mike at 5. Kevin L 15. Skippy 22. 30 seconds left. Or excuse me, 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left. Sounds good, Nut Farm. Glad you were able to hang out for a while. We'll give you a Hudson badge on the way out there for you, Nut Farm. Appreciate it. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Skippy at 22. Christine, 24. Just about done, and that will do it. Christine at 24. That's a good-looking piece. Oh, there they go. Skippy, 26. Big Job, 34. Big Job just coming in just a hair too late. Put her back away. And should we do another new one? What else we got? Christine, the new Austin. There you go. 67 pickups. So, let's see what the 67 pickup plate is. You guys ready? $67, so it's been in here for what? 58 years? $67 has a great blue to it. There isn't much to say because it doesn't really get any better. It is a good color. I like the 67 plates. You just don't ever see them this good. Holy cow. 1392 Lane County with the envelope. It's brand new. And it's going to somebody's. Ron, 40. Ron ain't messing around. That truck. It is kind of, I never looked at it that way. When you put the counties in there, it does kind of look like it's French. 30 seconds left to go, but it may not matter. Ron's in there swinging right out of the gate. Christine, 60. She ain't ready to let it give it to him that easy. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. That's right. That's right, man, from the farm. I don't know. Ron can be pretty tough when it comes to swinging on some of this stuff, too. Coming out of the end, about ready to wrap it up. Ron going to let her have it? And yes, he is. That does it. Christine at 60. Beautiful plate. That's true. She is the new Norma. Norma was just, you almost couldn't beat Norma on license plates. I haven't seen her in a while. I ran into her at a few swap meets there for a while, but I haven't seen Norma in quite a while. All right, Horn. This is I'm going to sell this as a unit. The button is what's cool, but I'm going to sell it with the ring in case you wanted to put it with the ring. I think this is like 55 Chevy, like a 210. I am going to sell it with the whole ring, but the center is what's cool. Check out the center. Now, this center does pop out. If you wanted to just put the center with the, like with your horn buttons, this does pop off. And you can just display the center if you've got a rack of horn buttons, or you could hang the whole thing on your wall. You could actually put a screw in here to hold it and then pop the cap back on it to display it. If you wanted to put the whole thing up. The ring's not broke, but it's got a lot of pitting and things like that in it. The ornament is what is cool. The whole ring is 11 1/4. Oh, I'm good, man. Man from the farm. The center button is about 3 inches. Kevin L, 25. So the center button's about 3 inches. The whole ring, 11. We're selling you the whole shooting match together. So I hope you like it, Kevin. I told you I had something kind of cool coming. Good, Kevin. Glad you like it. Just depends on if anybody else likes it or not. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Wake up at 30. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Wake up at 30. Taking away, coming out of the end. Kevin or anybody else got another shot in there? We got a few seconds left. Ron, 36. Kevin L, 40. And that got it done. Kevin barely got it in, but he had it covered. Kevin L at 40. At about 129. He didn't have much room to spare, but he got her. All right, what do you guys think? Couple more or move on? It's up to you guys. Get to the promo. We're ready for the promo. More. What's everybody think? More. We'll do like maybe 2 more, then we'll get to the promo and the raffle and talk about the raffle and stuff. How's that sound, guys? We'll get a couple more in, and then we'll move on so that we're the guys that want to see the promo, we get to that here fairly soon. So let's see. Yeah, that's true, Skippy. There might be some truth to that. about a Ford cap and some plates? We'll do those real quick. If we still got any Ford fans on. This is early 60s. This is kind of a basic plain cap. Just a good wall hanger, a good man cave piece. An antique Freightliner. I do not have an antique Freightliner in here. But something for our Ford fans to hang on their wall. Not sure on the exact year, but I think this is early 60s on this Ford cap. Obviously nice and shiny. It's got a few dingies in it. Ford around both sides of it. The sides are kind of cool. It's got this like step up ridge all the way around the perimeter. 62. I was thinking it was that era. It is about 10 5/8 in diameter. Stainless, you can see it is all stamped in there. The letters you can see in the back, the ridging you can see in the back, so it's all stamped in one piece. On the 62 Ford cap. Any Ford guys out there? Or do we need to put more Ford stuff with it? No Ford guys out there. I don't know if I got any Ford badges to put with it or not. Pete at 10. Well, we'll go ahead and roll it then. Yeah, Big Joe's got plenty of them. We'll just roll with it. So, Pete at 10. If it doesn't get any more bids, it goes in Pete's pile. If it does, we'll just roll with it. $30 seconds. Sean, 15. 60 seconds left to go. It would make a good clock. Yeah, it would. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Man from the Farm, 20. Kevin Brown, 21. Skippy, 22. Kevin Brown, 24. And that does it. Kevin got it done at 24. All right, we'll do one more auction, then we'll get to the promo models. I know you guys are waiting on that too, as well as talk about the raffle. This is kind of cool. 1937 Kansas. Black, yellow lettering, 20-1406, Kansas 37. You can see it has the original holes in it. Still nice and flat. Good straight plate. Uh-oh, what's that? What do you see there? Yes. You're seeing double. It is a matched set. A matched set from, what, 90 or 88 years ago? Or 90 years ago. I don't even remember. Yeah, 88 years ago. Still together. Heading to one of your guys' collection for your man cave. Match set of 37 Kansas. Original paint, original condition, still together. And here we go. Skippy, 22. Mark, 20. I got Skippy, 22. Marshall County. There's Nick. 23 with Mark. Skippy, 33. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. His and hers. That's right. $60 seconds gone. 30 seconds left to go. Skippy at 33. David D, 35. Waycamp, 40. Big Job, 50. Couple seconds left. Big Job at 50. Ron Levesque, 55. And that does it. Ron at 55. Big Job got that in, and I thought he had it covered at about 128. Ron got a 55 slid in there. All right, that was fun tonight. Oh. So let's keep moving. Let's get to the promo model. Let's talk about the raffle and get some of that stuff squeezed in. We're coming up on 2 hours, so I don't want to run you guys too much longer. But we do need to catch that stuff for sure. And if we don't get to story time, we can sure do it next week. Raffle, real quick before we get to the promo. On the Hudson Motor Oil, 5-gallon square, a very rare can. Definitely has some color loss. But wanted to run through that real quick because we are giving it away next weekend. So make sure you are in. So far, this is everybody that's in from the last few weeks. Aiden Henderson, Kevin Brown, Waycamp, Tim B. Of course, John Sanderson got his free from last month. Ron Levesque. And Randy Ellenberger. That's whose names are in the big Buick oil can as of right now for this month's raffle of the super killer Hudson Motor Oil 5-gallon can, probably 30s era. So make sure you're in there. We're going to give that away next week. And then we'll announce what we're doing for December. And you guys still want to do a bigger auction, extended auction, we will try to do that sometime here the 1st of December as well, maybe in a couple weeks. So let me grab the promo. Let's catch that. And then let's see where we're at for the evening. How do you get in the raffle? It is $1 a chance. Every dollar you send me $5, your name goes in the big Buick oil can 5 times, $10, 10 times, etc., etc. So when then we put them all in there and we draw for it. And depending on entries, sometimes we'll throw an extra piece in. But regardless, we'll give away the main prize, and we draw 10 entries for the next raffle. That's how John Sanderson is in this month. Is we drew his name for the free entries from last month. So anyway, let me grab that promo and move these piles out over here. And if you want to get your oil can books handy, we'll do the oil can after we do the promo, and then we'll kind of see where things are at from there. So, like I mentioned, 3 promos left. We've been working on this promo collection for over a year. September of 24 is when we went to that auction. The Chevy dealer every year took the promos home that they wanted to keep at their house on display. They sold 84 promos that weekend. We ended up with 50 of them. Tractor Mike took one, so that left 49 for Dad and I to split between us. So, okay. Let me mark that down, Randy. Okay. So, that's kind of where we're at. 3 left to go. And they're good ones. These, we got this one tonight, then next week. So, into almost to the end of the year. And we're going to be wrapped up with this collection. This one's kind of a different one. I think this color, near as I could tell. In fact, let me just write that on this note, Randy. If I don't write it on here, then it's going to be hard to remember. I wrote it on my other sheet. I will put that sheet in my notebook, and I won't see it again. I believe this color was Palomino Ivory in 1968, from near as I could tell by looking at some color charts. On the 1968 Impala SS 427 convertible promo. There's a whole lot of cool going on with this one. Obviously, red line tires. And just like all these Chevys out of this collection, condition is excellent. No original boxes, but excellent condition. Nose is all intact. Bumpers aren't chipped. Has the SS grill emblem in it. You guys probably can't see, but it actually does say 427 on the clearance lights on the side. Had the louvers on the fender, which were specific to the 427 cars. Had the big block bulged hood that was specific to those cars. And I don't know if that was just 427 or all big block, but that may have been just a 427 hood as well. Around back, and this is one thing that is really kind of interesting. Obviously, we know that almost all these promos that we look at, the bottom plate is one piece of injection molded plastic. This one's a little bit different, believe it or not. They actually put a little bit of detail into this thing. You all right there, Kevin? On the bottom side of this actually has 2 pieces. This is really odd. As we study the bottom of this has true dual exhaust. We see both pipes at the back. They go all the way to the front of the engine, and they are separate pieces. The rear axle and the exhaust is another piece of plastic that is attached to the bottom. If we look at the side here, hopefully you guys can make it out. These are a separate piece. I know it's going to be kind of tough to tell. There you can see the gaps in it. It's actually not one solid piece. This rear axle and the true dual exhaust system are a separate piece. Glad you're here, man, from the farm. Appreciate it. So kind of interesting the way that this one was put together on the bottom compared to most of these, that those were actually, there you can see it moving, a separate piece. It was not injection molded as part of the base. Of course, around the back, all 6 taillights for the Impala. Inside this thing, a little bit more coolness. You can actually make out some of the stuff on the dash. It is bucket seats. It is bucket seats, console, floor shift, 4-speed. You can see all that detail in there, and you can even make out some stuff on the dash. So quite a promo. Even the convertible top boot has like some texture to it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make that out or not, to where it looks like material. So definitely a neat one. So like I said, savings, these last few that are coming up are pretty impressive. That one's a good one. Maybe the best of the bunch. We've had a lot of good stuff. So, all right, let's go ahead and catch the can, and then we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up. A lot of you guys are commenting you need to get going, so we will go ahead and do the can, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up and get ready for this weekend for Thanksgiving. So. Is that a 68 like that, Big Job? So, if anybody wants to get out your oil can book, and we'll push the cap and story time off to next week. Something else we do need to work in that I will try next weekend, depending on weather, because it's supposed to get really cold this week. If it's decent, I'll try to get a live yard walk in next week. I thought about it today. But I've just been, this whole week has been the weather's been pretty nice. So I've been on a mad thrash trying to get stuff done. So we'll see how next weekend goes to try to squeeze in a live yard walk. And then we always try to do one on New Year's Day if the weather holds for that day as well. So we'll try to squeeze one in now so that we can, so that we're not back to back on those. So if you get your oil can book out, turn to page 65. In your oil can book. This is the page we're heading to. And we are going to look at can number 687 tonight. Sounds good, Mark. Appreciate it. Can 687. Penoline Oils, guaranteed 100% pure Pennsylvania from the Western Lubricating Company. They have this can as a 30s era can, blue, orange, and white. Obviously steel. We can see the seam on it right there on the side. Take your dividend now. Protect your motor with Penoline. Yeah, it is, Pete. I was pretty excited about it. I like this one. This one was used. It was punched on the top. But fortunately, other than, like I said, it's hickied here. This side's pretty good and some scratches. But there again, the thing's 90 years old. So to look this good, and you're right, and I do like the color combo as well. You know, at 90 years old and it still looks this good, I will take it. It's not a real common one. They had the value of it 20 years ago at 60. So, it's probably $100, $150 can in today's world because it's just not one that you see very often. So, yeah, the fact that it did make it this long, like I said, I was pretty excited about it when we found it. It was a good-looking can and something different. And that's obviously, like we always talk about, what you're looking for, something different. So that's what we've got for tonight. The Western Lubricating Company Penoline from the 30s. Oil can books. If you still want one, I am out. But Mark Kirk said last week he would take one if we order another batch. So if you guys do want your own copy of the oil can book, let me know. I can order another batch, or you can order them directly yourself, depending on what you wanted to do. Sounds good, Mark. Appreciate you being here. But we're having a lot of fun with this thing, and there is a ton of cool stuff in it. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and get ready to wind down. A lot of people are needing to get off. So we'll go ahead and save story time and cap for next week. And go ahead and wind things up. Tuesday night, I don't know if I'll be live or if I'll have something recorded. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. And we'll see what the weather's going to do this week for me. It's supposed to get kind of crappy later in the week. So we'll see what happens, but our highs aren't really supposed to break 50 too much, so I will probably be in the shop some. But we'll see what shakes out next weekend for a live yard walk. I'll see what I'm going to do Tuesday night. We will still have, glad you had fun, Kevin. We will have some content up for you, of course, Wednesday and Friday night. And we'll see what happens Tuesday on how things work out there. So hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Appreciate you guys swinging by, hanging out tonight. And you guys make this what it is. This isn't me. This is all you guys swinging by, spending your evening with the entire group, participating and having fun. So kind of a fun night tonight. I hope you guys like the Buick badge. Obviously, I was excited about it to be able to tie it with the one in the brochure that I didn't have. Out of all the Buick badges I found over the years, I never had a chance to get that. Yeah, there you go, John. So anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap her up, and I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. I know I'm ready to eat. I'm probably going to eat too much, but that's why we have it. We'll see what happens. Shoot, we never know. We may go Thanksgiving afternoon. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But we will try to squeeze that yard walk in hopefully next weekend. Next Sunday night should all pretty much be normal. But if you guys, Meekum, Kansas City is in less than 2 weeks. Week and a half is Meekum, Kansas City. So if you guys have that on your radar and you want to hang out with us, be sure to let me know so that we can be ready and make sure I don't miss you. We do have a pretty good group going this year. Tractor Mike going, of course. My buddy Alan from Augusta. Another buddy of mine from Denver's flying in. I'll sleep. I've slept the last couple nights. It's just I don't get out of here. I haven't got out of here before 1 the last 2 nights. Last night wasn't as bad. Friday night I hit it pretty hard. Last night I kind of unwound a little bit. After 11 or so, I kind of started unwinding a little bit and just didn't hit it as hard, until a little after 1 when I finally threw in the towel. But, that happens sometimes. So it's the way it goes. But like I said, I've been on a dead thrash trying to get stuff caught up with the winter coming in, and I'm in pretty good shape, fortunately. So at least it's been a productive week, albeit a very crazy one. So anyway, appreciate everybody spending your Sunday evening with us. Appreciate you guys for all your support and what you guys do to make this happen. We may see you Tuesday night. If not, we'll get a video up, and we'll definitely get a video up Wednesday and Friday. And if nothing else, we sure hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station, for another Gearhead Interactive live chat. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.